Welcome back, artists. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the tools you can use to help you make your cone look more like what you are creating instead of a cone. I'm going to begin by making a coil because I want to add 2 legs that come out of the front of my cone to make it look like a dog. Well, I'm going to take a piece of clay. I'm just going to roll it on the table. When you roll clay, it's important that you remember to start here at the palm and go all the way to your fingertips so that the clay is making at least 1 full revolution. Otherwise, it's going to get oblong for you and it's going to be hard to roll. I want to think about what thickness I want my legs to be for my dog. And I feel like this is about the right size. The next thing I want to consider is how long I want them to be. So I am thinking right about here. I'm going to trim 1, put this on here. I want it a little bit long because I want to have the foot sort of bent, so it's sitting out like that. Before I start to attach this one, it would be a good idea to get another one the same size so that you're not struggling to make that work later. So I can just place these here for where I feel I want them to go. And then I need to think about how I attach things with clay. Remember, when we attach with clay, it's important that we slip and score. I will be scratching not only the piece that I am attaching, but I also want to scratch where it is being attached. So I'm doing multiple scratches, kind of a crisscross pattern. And then I take my finger and dip it into the water and I fill those cracks with water. Water is the glue for clay. Then I'm going to put the slipped side to the slip slide and I'm going to give it a good push. When I wiggle this down, you can see how the water coming out of the seam, and that tells you that it has a good connection. You may find that it's easier to work on this one before you attach the other one so that you can get it shaped. Right now, it looks like I just attached a piece of clay to another piece of clay. What I want to do is make this look like it belongs together. So the arms or the legs of my dog are actually attached to the body. So I'm just using my finger right here to blend that in so it looks like it is part of the body. Now I'm also going to kind of round this a little bit more, so I'm using my fingers to pinch so it's not quite so rectangular. And then I can shape it and set it how I want. The other thing I want to consider is this connection here. Some of the tools can be helpful for that. So if I take this tool here that has a point but it's rounded, I can just sort of drag that or press that in the seam to give it a nice clean edge instead of an uneven one. I could take this tool here if I wanted to and make this more rounded so it doesn't just stick out. So I'm just very gently pressing the point into there, and then I can use maybe my finger to smooth that up so it seems more like a shape of an animal instead of a rectangle that's added. Okay, and I can do the same thing to this other side. Again, just using the tip to go into that seam and sort of neaten it up. And then I could use this edge of this to try to blend this here more. Try to get rid of that mark. I would like this to be a little more rounded, so I will take this tool here and sort of shape it this way. So now I've spent some time attaching that piece and making it how I would like it to look. It is really important that you spend time smoothing this work. I cannot tell you enough how important it is to smooth now before it gets fired in the kiln or it dries out, because you will not be able to smooth it later. And it is also quite difficult to paint once you have that done. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you is how you can kind of carve away. So far, I put this piece on here, but now I want to sort of shape this into the toes of my dog's feet instead of just having it rounded. So I can take one of these tools here, or I could even take this loop tool here, and I can just sort of carve away. So this is a pretty nice tool to make a consistent cut. So I'm just using the tip of this and I'm pressing down to carve away from it. So this can be 2 of the paws. And then I don't want to necessarily make this a point again. So I could just take one of these tools here and I could cut this shape. And then I can separate it for the different toes. Okay. I'm noticing that this toe is a little bit small over here, so I could even add some more clay to it, which I think I'm going to just do a little bit of clay here. Again, I'm slipping and scoring even the little pieces because I want it to stay, to give that toe a little bit more clay. And then I can pick it up and shape it how I want it. So that's 2 different ways that you can shape the clay. So you can use the tools to shape what you have added, or you can use the tools to cut away some of the parts that you already have.